What's going on, CALIVEGANs, and welcome into another episode of the CALIVEGAN podcast, the one and only calisthenics podcast that focuses on helping vegan men build muscle with calisthenics so you can be a better role model for veganism and the people around you. By the way, it took me some time, guys, but I finally managed to do the intro without having dyslexic problem in the pronunciation of the CALIVEGAN and the podcast. Do you remember when I was like popcast, totcast? I'm sure some of you remember when I was constantly making mistakes in the pronunciation of the word podcast. But anyway, the other part of this podcast is that it really goes with your own pace, and I try to base these on Q&A. So as you're joining in, please drop some questions so we get the party started. And even if you're leaving, you can help me actually by just dropping a question. So I will cover it and we create content for whoever is going to watch this. So today is upper body. Last week I did a deloading week, so a bit of less volume after 5 weeks of full volume training. If you want to know more about deloading, I actually talked about it in my last episode, so check it out. And yeah, something that I have noticed, and I posted about it, which is important in my training, is that I didn't listen to my own advice. So I felt stuck in my progression with one arm pull up. So in order to create that step, what I did was going from full range of motion to, like, you've probably seen it many times, my range of motion kind of to the wrist down here instead of trying to go here. And what happened is that was ego lifting 100%, and it actually ruined my progress. I thought I was progressing, but I think it was kind of fake, and overall I actually lost strength. So now I will embrace again the patience that is needed in order to get stronger and go back to more assistance. And instead of over focusing on dropping and scaling the band, I will make sure to create small adjustment in the progression. So back to this one, I can already do a good amount of volume. So I'll build up a very good volume with a harder band, like 5 sets of 5 or even 6. And actually, I already did 5 sets of 5. So today we are trying to do 3 sets of 6. And yeah, so guys, full range of motion is the way to go, guys. Do not do half reps. It's really less effective for the most part. It does make sense to use half reps sometimes, and I can cover it after my first set. But overall, full range of motion, it's always the way to go. And as you're joining in, guys, drop some questions. So as I do my first set, for the one that are joined, the 3 people that love me, show me some actual love and drop some questions. Oh, I forgot to put my magnesium on my hands, so we do that. And magnesium is very underrated from many people. Even my clients, I tell them to use magnesium, and they don't do it. And then when I remind them enough time to buy it, they realize that it's crucial, because it really increases your ability to grip the bar. And so as your forearms get tired, you're able to grip the bar still. let's start it. Of course, I did my warm-up before starting. This is something that I never mentioned, but I warm up before starting those lives. So don't think that I don't do warm-up. You need to warm up. It's important. All right, let's do it. Oh yeah, 6 felt pretty good and clean. We did good with very good technique. I might even bring it up to 10 repetitions over time, you know, because the difference in difficulty between this band and, you know, the following lighter band, it's huge. So I need to build more volume before I switch. Six felt pretty good. Far from failure, I would say. So I think today is going to go well with 6 reps. As you guys are joining, make sure to drop some questions if you have. And if you don't have, drop some questions anyway. And so yeah, I was mentioning about when half reps might make sense. I mean, they can make sense, you know, like I could have progressed with the half range, or maybe not. I don't know, you know, I'm not sure, because one reason why I wasn't progressing with the half reps is that I was working perhaps too close to failure, and I switched band too early. So what was happening is that, you know, as I started to get tired, you know, from this range, I would easily go to here, right? When I got tired, and mostly using my chin to touch, but still not getting to that 90-degree angle. And so I think I was making that partial rep even shorter than I wanted to be, and that's why it was not very effective, and I lost some strength. But yeah, I wouldn't use half reps, or maybe I will. I just need to experiment more. Like, this is the first time I actually experimented with the half reps when it comes to like main exercises and main approach to training in order to get stronger. But for example, for the one arm pull up, the problem is that the upper part is actually the most difficult. So I chosen an half range that probably in the case of the one arm pull up was not transferring very well to the overall progression. Because, for example, there's many people that progress in the one arm pull up doing like the holds and 90-degree, for example. So I guess I was just over focusing in a position that was not challenging enough. As you're joining in, guys, drop some questions. I will answer them after the set. What we're doing, 6. Oi. Nice. And it's incredible how little details make the difference. So for me, it's like kind of, how do you say? You know, it goes automatically that I kind of push a little bit with my arm here because it's very small. So I'm kind of opening up as I push, and I push against the door frame. And so for the last rep, I realized, and I didn't do it, and it was so much harder. So these little details in the technique is something that when you train with calisthenics, you want to look at, because before actually making changes in the exercise, you want to perfect the technique. Yes. Whew. As you're joining in, guys, drop some questions. Good morning, bravo. Thanks, guys. So here it goes, you know. We could hear the shaking of the muscle, really. But yeah, this concept that I just shared with you is actually something very important if you want to get results with calisthenics, you want to build muscle, and you want to get stronger. Because it's easy when you're doing a body weight exercise, depending from your weight, but it happens at different weights that, you know, just because you're going through the motion of an exercise, you think that it's easy, or you think that, you know, you're ready for the next progression, but often you're really not optimizing the little details. Perhaps you have, like in the push-ups, many people, they stop here. Same thing with dips. They go down here and push back up already, right? So you want to make sure that, okay, you're training this way, cool. But how can you make this exercise even better, even more effective? Going full range of motion and then all the way up, push up, same thing. I'm stopping here, I'm going here. And then before I make any changes, I go chest to floor, right? So these little details will make you actually gain real strength through calisthenics. Because otherwise you can just fall into a loop of fake progress, and it's the same thing that happened to me with the one arm pull-up, right? I rushed it and I was going through the motion, but it was not enough of a good technique and I lost some strength. So now I'm back, of course not to ground zero, but I made some regression so I can prioritize technique. All right, let's see how 6 comes up now. Wait. All right, good. Even when it comes to the detail that I told you earlier, I already made some adjustment. Instead of, as I'm pulling before, what I was doing is pushing a little bit, just pushing. And I realized this because it was kind of automatic. And now instead what I'm doing is I'm just using it to balance. Okay, so I start right position and I don't waste too much energy in stabilization. But it's already a little bit harder to do it without the little push. I think I've seen a question. So guys, as you're joining in, drop more questions. So I'm not just talking about what I want, and I'll talk about what you want. Oh, yes, let's go. Just about it, but yeah, good enough. What's the question? Fuck! That's why I hate handstand push-ups. We can't only do. Yeah. And so on the handstand push-up, for example, what do you think about HGH? I don't. What's HGH? Is it a drug? It's probably a drug. But is it like a drug as in a recreational drug or performance enhancing drug? HGH, I'm pretty sure I heard it, but I'm not 100% sure about what it is. So yeah, then about the comment I just seen, it was interesting to expand on that. Anne Seltzer, these exercises look easy, but now we can hear the strength needed. So 30 seconds. So yeah, that's one thing, you know, like the beauty of calisthenics is actually, and strength in general really, for me is about making things that are hard look easy. This is when you're stronger. This is when you're strong, right? And the other thing that I've noticed with my clients, when they start training, they start being consistent, and they just go from a point of being basically being physically weak to start developing some real strength. They start sharing with me, and that happened multiple times. It's like, Stefano, now I really respect people that have developed, very high level of strength like you, because they finally understand that this is not something that happens out of the blue. This is going to require years of consistency. So if that's what you want, you better start now, because it takes time to get stronger. Can we do 6 again? Let's see. Oh, yes, 6 again. I mean, kind of make me think that I might have to do even a 5th set here. Yeah, I think we should do a 5th set. Or maybe we keep it to 6. Yeah, let's keep it to 6. We can progress next week. Or better, next session. You guys dropping questions? What's HGH? Do you guys know what HGH is? Come on, let's do this 3 repetitions. I'm kind of losing motivation with the handstand push-up because the balance is affecting the progression so much. Every time you fall or you lose the line and it becomes more difficult, the progression is so inconsistent. So, yeah, not sure. Maybe I will start doing them on the wall with weight. Fuck. You see, I was feeling fresh. Absolutely fresh. I was like, yeah, the 4th one is going to be easy too. And then I lost balance and fuck it. Everything goes to shit. Alright, let's try this 4th one anyway. That bar, the bar is holding me up well. Yeah, guys, actually, there's many of you that fear using pull-up bars, but it's a very not based fear, because first of all, these bars hold up very well. I mean, I am not super heavy, but I'm not light neither. I weigh 82 kilograms and I do pull-ups with 20 extra kilograms, so that's 100. I'm pretty sure this bar can easily hold 100 plus kilograms. This is not even a very expensive one. You know, you have much better quality bars out there, so they hold very well. Okay, so do not fear that. And the other thing that people usually are worried about is if it's going to break the door. But no, the problem is the ones that do pressure on the side. These can break the door, but I think it's not always the case. You know, it depends which one. Now there are one that have a bigger surface of, yeah, like contact, and so I think those one are less likely to actually break the doorway. But when it comes to these, those apply pressure to the sides, so don't worry, like it's not going to ruin the door frame at all. Half lay. I think we're going to try and just match it. Let's see how 5 feel. Yeah, they feel about right. Now this is a tip for someone that already has some experience in training and you kind of have a workout plan. When you're training and you're following your workout plan, you always need to have one main focus. All right? In calisthenics, for most people, it's going to be very hard to progress in different exercises at the same time. So you need to choose one skill and then perhaps having some secondary goals you have, but it's not going to be your focus. All right, so you have this main exercise, and this is what you really want to make sure you are progressing over time. So for me, it was the one arm pull-up, right? So if I happen, like today, to increase the volume, I cannot expect to feel fresh to make progress in my following exercise because I built fatigue in my first one. But it's fine. You're not losing strength, or even if you stay at the same volume for your second or third exercise, as long as you are progressing in your main exercise, you're going into the right direction. I didn't check actually what I was supposed to do. Okay. 3 and 3. So yeah, with that, I don't want to say that you shouldn't be aiming for progress in your following exercises as well. I'm just saying that if you, like me today, for example, I've done 1 extra repetition per set. I've done 4 sets instead of kind of the minimum of 3 that I have per exercise. It's normal that perhaps, and it doesn't look like it today, well, actually for the pull, it does. I don't think I can make progress there. But for the push, I feel great to make progression and add the repetitions. But all I'm saying is that it's okay to be stuck in your secondary and tertiary, is that the pronunciation, exercise. Because as long as you're progressing in your main one, you are building up strength. In the same way, if you are not progressing in your first exercise, you kind of feel stuck there, then understand that you don't have to push through bad technique in order to make progress. It's better to actually stay there, right? Keeping it clean, good volume, close to failure, but good technique. And then make progress in your secondary and tertiary exercise, because the volume that you build up there, it's also affecting your strength. And so session after session, that volume that you're building in your secondary and tertiary exercise affect then your progression in your first exercise. And related to this, you also need to keep in mind that you don't want to allow to feel stuck for too long in your main exercise, okay? Because pull-ups, for example, often people, especially beginners, they kind of always say, oh, I am stuck to doing 3 sets of 6, 7 pull-ups. I don't seem to be able to make progress. So obviously, you know, most of the time there are multiple reasons why you're not making progress. Your workout plan don't make sense. You go too hard on your first set, so you're burning your whole ability to spread your energies throughout the workout. You don't rest enough, like you're training every day, or you're training 3 or 4 times per week. But yeah, the other mistake is that you're not intentionally actually increasing the volume, all right? So in this case, usually this is coming from the concept that you need to do 3 sets of 8, and you kind of always do these 3 sets and you don't change nothing. Okay, so when you feel stuck in the progression in increasing your repetition, you need to do something else in order to increase the volume. There's something else. The first thing that you can do is increasing the number of sets. So you go from 3 sets of 6 to 4 sets of 6, and then even 5 sets of 6. And once you have built that amount of volume, you should and probably will be able to bring it back to your default volume of 3 sets, adding the extra repetition. For beginners, usually this works magic, works all the time. As you're joining in and you have some questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. Let's go. I think someone answered me about the HGH. Yes, that's true. So what do I think about HGH? Since someone has shared what it is, which is HGH is a growth hormone. So steroids, what do you think about steroids? Well, there are many things I think about steroids. First of all, I would say that I'm not a doctor, know nothing about steroids really. If you actually need it, of course, for health, then do what you have to do. But I think that the conversation we are having here is that what place do steroids have in fitness? For me, they have no place. For me, it doesn't look like it. But all of these bodybuilders that take steroids, they're just addicts. They're all addicts. This is what they are. They have different type of addiction. It looks different. It kind of look positive in a way, but the reality is that it looks positive just because it's more accepted, partly. But it has similar consequences to using drugs in general. Obviously not the same, it's different, but for the most part I think that steroid users are drug addicts or addicts. They might not addicted to the drug, they might addicted to this feeling of unlimited power, of being able to build strength and muscle, but it's I don't like that concept. And yes, so many people are dying because of steroids as well. So it's really something that I don't understand. To be honest, guys, like, you think many people are like, oh, you are a bodybuilder. I'm not a bodybuilder. I don't like bodybuilding. I don't like the concept of training for the sake of building muscle. I train have a good physique, but I train to get stronger, to be strong. I'm happy with my physique. And now for the people that are going to be like, okay, so you don't train to build muscle, that's why you're not growing. No, that's not how it works. If you train for strength and hypertrophy, you're building muscle. It's not that, because that's not my main goal. There is another way that you need to follow in order to build muscle. What people don't understand is that there is a genetic ceiling for normal, let's not call them natural, normal people, for normal people to build muscle. You're not going to build muscle forever. And that's why people take steroids, because they get into this environment where the point is to build muscle, but you cannot build muscle after a certain point as a natural. and so they take steroids. So I really don't like all this narrative. It doesn't make sense to me. Well, it makes sense to some people. I'm not necessarily judging here. I'm just giving my piece of cake. But if you ask me if I suggest using steroids, yeah, no. Fuck that. Do not use steroids. Woohoo! Fuck. But something that I can tell you is that you guys interested in fitness, keep listening to these to these fitness influencers that are filled with steroids. And I can tell you that I wouldn't take them seriously 100% of the time. They're on steroids. Most of them do not actually know what's needed because they would get results even if they don't do the things 100% good. And even though, of course, to take steroids you need to progressive overload and blah 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 and know what you're doing, kind of, which is not really true because there is plenty of bodybuilders that have a shit approach to training. But they're still corrupted. They're still corrupted by an enhanced progression in their fitness journey. So I don't, just be careful when you listen to them. Understand that they are on steroids, Night Core Keto. Love the work I do. Thanks, man. Are you a guy? Yes, you are. 5004 Geet says, please send me a good diet. Absolutely, man. Let me do my set and I give you some diet tips. Let's fill up the workout thing here. Okay, we also have to... You know what? Actually, I think I can do it here. And I don't need to... Let's see how this goes. Yeah, I think I have no problem doing it here. Let's see. Is this centered? We don't know. I fit perfectly. So let's see what I did last time. I did 8, 8, 9, 9, 10. 10? Okay. So, going to diet. So I don't. So first of all, you have a free diet, nutrition guidelines on my guide. You can download my guide, the 3 pillars to build muscles as a vegan with calisthenics. You can download that from my link in bio. But you don't have to. I believe. I might be wrong, but I think you already know what are the food choices that you need to do, right? Like I'm not a nutritionist guy. Like I don't go deep into like nutrients and stuff like that. I just make common sense nutritional choices. Fruits, vegetables, whole food, real food, avoid processed food, avoid chemicals, avoid supplements, and you're good to go, really. All right, we can say, to keep it less controversial, just have a variety of plant food, or I can tell you the truth, and I think that you should be focusing more on fruit. And you don't actually need variety in your diet. The more fruit you eat, the better, it is. And don't worry about protein, right? That's the other thing. Just the only thing that you should, like here is the thing. Most problems that people have with their, the way they feel, energy levels, their struggle with the losing fat, their struggle with the gaining weight, the struggle of being able to get stronger, not having the energies to get stronger. All of those problems can probably be solved with you starting to track your calories. If you track your calories, you make sure you're in a calorie deficit, you lose fat. You make sure eventually you eat enough calories because you were eating too little calories. You start feeling great, and you start finally getting stronger over time within your workout, and you start building muscle, right? So when it comes to diet, I don't do diets. I don't think diets are a good thing necessarily. I think they confuse you actually more than help you. You just need to have good eating habits. Oh fuck. Motherfucker. All right. It's becoming uncomfortable to talk too much. So since there is no questions, I'm going to leave and close this episode for today. Sick Nick music training too. Good stuff, man. And if you're a vegan man struggling to build the guns, I can help you with my CALIVEGAN coaching program. I've already worked with more than 300 vegan men, and I've helped them successfully building 3-4 plus kilograms of muscle with a minimum of 3 kilograms in 4 months. I will help you with a calisthenics based workout plan so you can actually train yourself at home, saving time and doing an exercise style that is much more fulfilling, using your own body weight, learning different exercises. I'll support you with a plant-based diet, nutrition plan that's going to allow you to feel your best and stay lean, get your six-pack, and obviously you will get the coaching. So my support through chat, sending me videos of you working out so you can get feedback on the technique. There is a community. We'll do group calls. We'll do one-to-one calls. So if you're a vegan looking to build muscle with calisthenics, then drop me a DM saying CALIVEGAN, and we'll have a conversation about your fitness goals. All right, last set, and then I will close this. Cycnic music tells us, and I'm vegan, never been stronger. There you go. I'm really struggling to put this in in the symmetric kind of position, but let's go. And 6. All right, guys, thanks for coming live. Make sure that you like, subscribe. You can leave a comment. I can make a post and answer the question in the next episode. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, like, comment, and if you want to come live, Instagram, Stefano Vegan Calisthenics, every Monday at 9:30 a.m. Central European Time. I actually would like to increase the frequency, but I don't really know how to fit it, play Tetris with my life and fit more content. So yeah, for now, this is one episode per day, per week. But I tell you what, I am working harder. I'm working harder. I have realized that I wasn't being my best in content creation by forcing myself to do the content every day, every morning. So creating content with that pressure was not good. I also was focusing on quantity too much and not enough on the quality. I think well, that's not good in general, but I think that now I've done enough. I mean, it's good. Quantity is good, especially in the beginning, but I think that now I've done enough quantity to have enough data to go now into quality. So I'm trying to batch my content on Sundays. It's not going well so far. Like, I still can't manage to do all the content for the week. But yes, it's better. I am more fulfilled by the content that I create by spending some extra time on it and not just post the first thing that comes to mind. Ciao!